I'm here with Dan, the Vice President of Enrollment here at St. Mary's University. And I was going to ask, why would a student choose a 4-year college over a 2-year college?
Well, I think for me on this one, it's less of pitting a 4-year versus a 2-year. I'm more concerned with, does the student go on? Okay, I think a student can get a wonderful education whether they go 2-year or 4-year. We just want to make certain that they go on for some education beyond high school. We have here most of our students are undergraduates coming fresh out of high school, going to college, and that's an easy transition. But we also have about maybe 35 to 40 kids each year that transfer in, and many of those are coming from 2-year schools. So again, my point would be I care less whether you're going 4-year or 2-year, just that you're making that investment after high school in yourself. Okay?
Yeah. What is dorm life like, and is it required for everyone?
You're asking the wrong person about dorm life, because it's been about 40 years since I was in a dorm. But we do ask that most students living, if you're not living with parents, we do kind of recommend that you live out of campus. And we call them residence halls only because dorm means it's kind of dormant. And what we try to do with the residence halls is to have a very active and vibrant social life. There's 100 different clubs and student organizations. There's 21 varsity sports. There's about 25 community service organizations, religious activities. So we want students to engage in the life of campus. In fact, this last year we worked with a firm that's bringing some international students here. And one of the reasons why they selected St. Mary's is they want their students to know that when you get a scholarship, you're going to be active and involved on campus life. So for them, our location where we're not smack dab in the middle of a city was a big plus, because their students then have to get involved in campus life. So ultimately, when we select a student, students sometimes ask me about, are you looking for like a well-rounded student? And I say, I'm looking for a well-rounded class, but I'm looking for students who can contribute their talents to enrich our community of scholars. And you can do that through leadership, through athletic teams, campus ministry, student government. There's a whole plethora of things you get involved in, but we really want students when they're on campus to be involved both in the classroom and outside the classroom.
Does SMU help you find a job after completing a major?
Yeah, we have a career services office, and again, what I say to students is when we have these presentations, we talk with them, don't wait until like it's March of your senior year, you're about ready to graduate, and you go, oh, now I should go down and see if they can help me find a job. There's actually some steps you can take throughout your 4 years, and what we try to tell students is this is a 4-year investment. So during that first year, the most important thing is the adjustment to college, making those friendships, establishing yourself academically. The sophomore year is actually that time when probably the most challenging thing happens, and that's when you have to select a major. It's difficult because you have 60 different programs to choose from, about 50 minors, and sometimes students have, either they know right away and they maybe keep blinders on of, I'm going to go into that regardless, or they just don't know. But the sophomore years, you help select a major. Career services actually can help in that, because they'll do some things with you in terms of what are your skills, your interest, and your values. And I recommend to students take that maybe early in your sophomore year. If you can, take it your first year, but kind of you'll get a feel for things. Come back again in the midpoint of your sophomore year, and now you're going to see like, oh, I have a goal that says I want to make a lot of money, or I want to be in an environment where I'm not confined to an office, I want to be outdoors. You'll see things that are constant. That'll actually help you pick a major. Our first year advisors also help students in selection of a major, but usually most students by the end of their sophomore year have that done. Then when you talk about career services, they can help out in terms of internships and co-op experiences, job shadowing, our alums involved in that. Finally, they also do things like resume writing, interviewing, kind of tips like that. They also do one where they do a dress for success. So they actually show you how you should dress for an interview. They've also added recently, if you have to go out for a meal, sometimes you have to meet someone over lunch, and that can be really, really like, which of these forks do I use, and what if they offer me alcohol? Should I drink? Should I not drink? And so there's kind of that, it's an opportunity to kind of have a walkthrough. But ultimately, there are a number of firms that come to campus, and there's some that we have up in the Twin Cities that we help students find that job. Now, just finding that first job, it doesn't stop there, because we want you to utilize their services for that next job, graduate school, excuse me. So they're available throughout your entire 4 years here, and then once you've graduated. But again, our goal is to help students either find that job, get into graduate school, community service, and about 95, 97% of them do that within 6 months of graduation. Okay.
So what are some fun things that SMU does to help keep students active, and are there any special events?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things on campus with students to get involved in. We have Bring Back Families for Family Weekend that just occurred about 2 weeks ago. It was a beautiful fall weekend. There were about maybe 300 of the first-year students had their parents back on campus. There was a fun run. There was some soccer events. There was a volleyball. There was in the evening they had a legacy dinner. Oh, and I forgot, they had a golden oldies or moldy oldies. It was something like that called. They had a dance out there. Now I will say, the parents were dancing. The students were going, I can't believe mom and dad are embarrassing me. And then they also had, late at night, they had a bonfire out there. So there were a lot of activities for students to get involved in. We also, I think, we're a campus that sports is pretty dominant part of what we have going on here. So whether it's a soccer, volleyball, hockey's a very big activity with the ice arena right on campus. A lot of students go to that, and they're actively supporting, the Cardinals. So there's a lot of things for students to get involved in, and sometimes there are new traditions that they start. So if you can't find something you're interested in, just let somebody know, and you'll go from there.
Yeah. Then finally, how would you justify someone going to a college versus not?
Yeah, and I think that's a tough one, because a lot of times students and families, they look at the price and they'll go, okay, the sticker price, it's like $40,000. We can't afford that, or that's too expensive. And so sometimes they'll make a decision not to go just based on that. I tell students that, first of all, very few families pay that full price. Most students, if you're a good student academically, you're going to get a scholarship, you may get need-based aid, that kind of stuff, so you'll take that price down. But when you look at college, it's an investment in you. The national statistics out there will tell you that a college degree versus a high school, over the course of your lifetime, you'll earn about $1 million more. So for students, when they look at that initial investment in college, it may seem like, oh, I have to take out some loans. And average loans here might be about $30,000. But that's $30,000 with a return of $1 million. There's also, though, things like, I don't want to just make it a financial transaction, but it's like, students will tell you this can be the best 4 years of your life. It's the one time you don't have to worry about, you're away from mom and dad. That can be a plus and a minus, okay? But you're responsible for your own success. I encourage students when they're in college to think about, study abroad. It's the one time you can do that relatively cheap. Internships, forging those friendships and relationships that at a place like here at St. Mary's, I guarantee you that when you graduate, probably you're going to invite maybe 3 faculty members to your wedding, because that's how well they know you. And that's part of those intangible things that don't go into college when you think of it just from a price standpoint. But I think this can be, for many students, kind of the best 4 years of their life, because the friendships that they're going to have here are going to last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Thank you for your time.
Oh, I appreciate it, okay? And good luck with everything, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.